this is the driver's side, let's say left shoulder area or back area of the seat. So the seat, you know, the driver's side seat is there, and when the driver comes out of the car or comes in the car, puts the elbow there like this, dink, and then boom, it sits in the car. The car is really low, so a person that is not too athletic and maybe is a bit too big will land with the elbow really hard here and destroy this area, and that was the case of mine. So basically what I end up doing is I cut these pieces from here, so I'm going to put them back here together. So this area goes there, this piece goes there, and this goes there. So you see it was all ripped off here. I made a video about this before, and basically what happens is that all this foam here is in really bad shape. It doesn't have any cushioning anymore. This foam here is kind of okay. You can tell it's built in different layers. So there is a layer there of foam, and then there is one piece of layer here and another one here. You see in the back is a different layer. So they are all glued together there. So basically what I'm going to do is I have to rebuild this because I need to rebuild all this area. So I cut it now where I think I'm going to do it. That's something that you have to do visually. I mean, there's no much to explain about it. Basically, you need to figure it out how far you want to cut. It's kind of like having rust in a car. And so I cut all the way to the area that I think it would be easier, and I'm going to basically make this straight and this completely flat. And then this area here, you see, has a cutoff here for the seat frame to go in. So the seat frame slides in here, and then it touches this area here. So basically this can be carved out with a sharp knife or whatever, or any other tool, to make this shape here, which is this kind of cut off here. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use a piece of another seat. So I had, like I said before, I have a bunch of subs, and I got a lot of seats. I have, like, I don't know, easy 6 pairs of interior seats, like full interiors. And I got rid of a bunch, but I saved some because these are really good for your knees and that kind of stuff. So this is high density car seat foam, like the one in the NSX. I think that this is actually maybe 3 years older than this one. So it's pretty high density, pretty good. You can buy a high density foam like this to do this if you want, but since I have that piece, I'm going to use it. I'm basically going to cut this foam and glue it here, and then shape it after. And since this one has that cut off already here, I think I'm going to reuse that. I'm not sure. We'll see. But basically, the way that this is done, usually you can see videos in YouTube, is that, you know, people just cut a piece, glue it together, and then they sand this with a high grit disc. And I have this egg grinder, and these are 50 grit blue corpses they're called. I wish that I had like 36 grit or 24, but I think these were cheaper. So these are the things. They're called green corpse. They're really good. They last a humongous amount of time. If you want to buy something cheap, go ahead, buy it. You will buy 50 of them, and they're going to last, you know, a third of what these ones are going to last. Although this box is 25 and may cost you $90. The quality is not comparable. It's just they last forever. I think that of that box, I have used 4 in 2 years. And I use it for everything. And I actually keep the old ones because they get smaller. And then I put them on this adapter, which is smaller. This is a 1 inch or 2 inch. And there is another one is 3 inch that I have it here somewhere. Somewhere here. Anyhow. So there's this one is the same one, roll-up, but there's a bigger one with a bigger base. Anyhow, so I'm going to use it like this, because I can reach inside more, so I can actually do this shape here after. That's what I'm thinking, but anyhow. So basically I'm going to sand this now, make it flat, and then I'm going to glue. I'm going to cut a piece from here, glue it here, and then I'm going to shape it all. So I'm going to do that. I have 3 hands, so you guys are going to have to see the result after I sand it, right? So after a few minutes of trial and error, I sanded it. It's a bit tricky to sand with. There must be I don't know exactly what grit you have to use. If I try to use a softer grit, it will actually grab more. And not will grab more. It will not actually take that much material. I tried 150. Didn't work. So it has to be like, I don't know, 36, 40. This is 50, so maybe 36 is better, so it doesn't get stuck much. But I managed. So I tried actually with here. So I tried to match it with this is a passenger side. But it was too hard because you don't see the carbon copy of it. So I brought the driver's side right shoulder basically, and so I put it in front of it, and that's how I shaped it. It was way easier that way, and I marked it with a Sharpie to see the contour and all that. So this is a little bit thicker this way, a little bit taller, and a little bit bigger here, and that's intentional, although it does have the same curved, but this is intentional. You see that this part here is a little bit sticky, so this is where I left it like that, because so that I don't have to add another layer of foam that I was thinking to do. So I think it's going to be fine. And it's going to stretch the material. This is going to get compressed by the those are the old ones, by the rubber, by the leather. So I think this is going to be fine. If I found that the fitting is not that good, then I will sand it more. But I follow the curvature. You see, it's curved and all that, and I made this flat area. I made the cutoff here. There's a cutoff under here, which is the same up here. What I have to do now is that because this piece is thicker, I had to actually flatten this part in the inside, and because it's very thin up here. So if you open this up here, inside there, it's very, very thin. Like I would say maybe it's like ½ inch thick in this area here, and this is where it breaks, because the frame of the seat goes this way down. And so what I have learned is that you basically glue a piece of fabric in those areas. So you just cut a slit of fabric, bend it over, and put it in. Cut the excess, and that piece of fabric will basically cover the corner, so it doesn't, the metal doesn't dig into the corner and breaks it. So I'm actually going to do that all the way here. You see that here is separating a little bit, so that will reinforce this, so it will not actually get, will cut off here, which is come off this way. So I want to reinforce that. So that's what I'm going to do. But so far, this is, I think, the 3rd time I do this in my life. But it's actually quite easy. It's not that far. The problem is if you could glue the piece and then sand too much. If that's the case, you can put, a cut-off piece on top. Like imagine that you did the edge too much. You can just glue this in here and do it, and so on. It's better not to cut too much, obviously, but you can fix it that way. But you see, it's like, just sanding is like sculpturing, so that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. So I'm actually going to now thinner these out, this part here which is going to be a bit tricky because it's pretty deep. And then I'm going to glue the piece of fabric inside. I have like a fabric that is for upholstery. I don't know what it's called, and that I'm going to put inside all this edge here in all the pieces, so that is reinforced, and so this doesn't happen again. So you see, but now it looks like brand new instead of, you know, this thing that was there. It's all broken. Anyhow, so I'm going to continue going. Excuse me. And I will finish up with the inside. So there's been some updates, I guess. You see part of the seat is ready. This is the driver's seat. I put it together. So the video content, you know, I did one thing and I'm doing another one. So I'm ready to put the passenger seat together that I showed the repair before. But before I do that, there was a step that I mentioned of steaming the foam that was suggested by someone. It works really, really, really well. So that's what I want to show you now, how it looks like. I actually saved one piece. I could have put all the seats together already, but I saved one piece just to show you guys how good it looks like. So, how good it works. So here's that's the back foam of the seat that goes there for the passenger seat. Let me put you here so you can see it. Yeah. There we go. In between all the kids' toys and all that stuff. So basically I have a steamer here. You know, it's one of those that clean the floor, but you can take the whole thing apart and use it, you know, handheld. And I turned it on long ago, and it has this hose with the adapter. You know, usually to clean, you know, the kitchen or whatever. It's I think this is the smallest one they have. You know, the steamers that if you search for in Google, in the internets, if you search for a steaming foam, you will see these professional steamers with a Metallica wand here. Those are the best. And Jiffy steamers or something like that, I think it's the brand. I can't remember. Every so often you see them for sale in marketplace for like $200 or so. Way better than this. Much more power, so they are for clothing. You can buy those, and they have the adapter, the metal one. But this works. The problem with this one is like it spits a little bit of water, so you have to leave the foam dry for a little bit longer, but that's all. Still works. So I'm going to show you how it works. You need to be kind of careful because this burns big time. I'm going to turn it on. I have a clamp to hold the button because otherwise it's pretty annoying. And it's set to max steam, as you can see. It's not bad. And here you can see the seat and all the marks of over the years. That's where the welt is. Like you can see that's where the sew marks are, you know, in the corner. So I'm going to actually hit it with the steam there, and you will see how it's going to change the shape. And it's going to start rounding up, and you will not see that crease anymore. And if I continue here, let me try to do it this way. Hopefully you can see the difference. You see how it kind of bubbles up. It starts getting rounder and bigger. Let me try here. Right here in this area. Uh-oh. Come on, steamer. The problem with these steamers are, you know, they don't hold the pressure for too long. So that's the only problem. So anyways, so if we continue here, hopefully you guys can see that it's very hard, but you see the foam like growing slowly with the steam. You see it there. You see that? It's crazy. You see? And it goes back to shape. So that is what the foam does. And so all these areas here, you hit it with the steamer, and you go all over everything. And so what happens is that it recovers the shape. And so and when that's happened, then the new skin is going to fit tighter. Like let's see it here. You see it there clearly. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? You see how the shape comes back and the crease goes away? It's like magic. Like here in the corner, it's more noticeable because the corner has been crashed for a long time. Have to be careful because you can burn yourself. You see that? How it grows back into shape. So that is the deal. And the idea would be that you go through the whole seat. Top right here is very important because this is where your crease is and the for the three parts. Around the corner is really important because this is what it gets crashed over time, and it loses its shape here, and then that's why you get the wrinkles and so on. And so you go over everything, including including the back, because the back, if it's crushed and it lost a little bit of shape, then basically you lose thickness. So I go all around, and then I let it dry for 2-3 days before I put it together. But you saw how incredible it is just to use a little bit, and then this goes back to and it gets really supple basically. So much better, way better. So I did this before I repair any piece, so that I knew how the end shape was going to be, and then I did the repairs and the whole seat. So everything has been steamed, and I just wanted to show you with this piece is the last one, and then I will make a video of how to put the you will see it in the next video, how to put it together. All right, I'm going to show you how to put the skins on it and all that. This is how the final product looks like. Few things that I did wrong. I want to show you is that the leather takes a while to conform to these areas here, because this is where the seat contracts and expand. It's not expand. Anyhow, when you tilt the seat, this will get stretched or compressed. So depending on how you left the seat when you removed it, then this will wrinkle in a certain way. So you don't have to actually get all the wrinkles out. But in my case, what happened was that this was actually moved all the way here. So you have to make sure to massage the leather to move this over. But when that happened, the stitching in the back needs to land on the edge of the foam like originally was. And so what could happen is that you land on this side or that side, and then it doesn't stay where originally was. And so this one, in this case, for example, this side, you see that wrinkle there. I need to stretch the Velcro. That's how you fix that. But this was pointing way too far back, so you always have to look from the back and figure it out. Is it okay? You see this one is a little bit too far forward, so that means that I need to push that one back, the forward a little bit more. So the way you do that is you Velcro this and you keep pushing and pulling the leather this way until the stitching goes over this area. That's how you do it. So I'm going to do it after, but that's how you need to do it. And so you see here, this is where the stitching is supposed to land when you install it. These areas here. Well, this one not, because that's new. But if you look at here, this is where it's supposed to land there. So if it goes too far forward, then it sits in a weird angle. So it needs to sit here. And if I look back here, actually I will say that maybe this one is correct and that one is too far forward. Although that one looks way better. So I think that this is kind of like in between here. So I need to do something with it. But it's a matter of like taking the leather from here out of the Velcro like that, and then you put your hand back and then you basically slap it really hard in the back to move it over. It's not a big deal. The rest is all fine. Few mistakes here and there, that mostly about leather positioning and all that, and how you pull and all that. But I did this so long ago that we are going to have to relearn all that together, because I completely forgot. So before we get into this part, which is the hardest, we're going to do the back support, which requires hog rings and such. So we're going to do this first. So let me set up and then we do this one. All right, let's do this. So I mentioned before the hog rings I bought. I think that these are 3/4 inch. Anyhow, these are the hog rings, and the hog ring tool I use, it has a bend in it. My friend gave it to me, or lend it to me forever, I guess. So this is a hog ring tool I use. And yeah, I don't know, I never use a straight one, so maybe it would be better for this. I don't know, but since I have only this one, then I use this one. Okay, so this is the back support that I steamed already. You saw it earlier how good it came, and of course it has been drying for a long time. So now we are going to put this thing on, and before I do that, let me clean a little bit here, because didn't work earlier. We don't want to damage the leather. All right, so this goes like this. Obviously you need to match the shape. Obviously that's kind of self-explanatory. This piece goes here. So this piece, usually what you want to do is to look at the original piece to see where the hog rings are, to know roughly what kind of tension you have to pull to on the sides, depending on how far you go here and all that. So I did that already, and this piece actually I had to remove it because I actually forgot to steam this part. So I put it all together, it looked okay, but then I steamed all the rest of the seats, and so I had to put it out. So I already have the hog rings holes here of where they go, and you can see here that these were the old hog rings where it's rusted there. You see that? So you know where the hog rings are, and so you have an idea. And so what are we going to do is that we are going to start first in this area here. You need to start in one of this. I'm going to start in here first, and then I will move over to this one. And why you want to start here is because if you start on the sides here, then you will not be able to put these ones on, because this one's, you have to grab this what is it called, cable here, and you need to hog ring it against these 3 holes here, if you can see there. So there is 3 holes in here. Let me see if I can give you a better angle there. So 1 hog ring there and there, so 3 hog rings. So you push it down and then you hog ring it there like that. So that's what we're going to do. So we need to go have the hog rings close by and the hog ring tool, and I have cable cutters here in case I put a hog ring the wrong way. So cable cutters. And the problem with this one is like spring loaded, so the hog ring will fall. So you always have to put it together, put the hog ring at the same time that you are pressing it down to hold it. So we are going to do this side first, and you want to start from the middle, hog ring, not on the sides. And the idea is that you kind of center it by eye around where it's supposed to go. This is forgiven. I mean, this will move a little bit side to side. So even if you move it too far, it's going to rip a little bit of this material, the hog ring. If you hog ring it too far this side and then you pull it that way, it's going to rip a little bit of this material. That's fine, but you hopefully you are going to try to center it so that doesn't happen, because you're going to see a wrinkle before it kind of rips and then it kind of settles in the correct place. So we are going to center it the best possible, and I'm going to put a hog ring in the tool. So I have the hog ring, and so I grab this and I push it down to where the wire is. Let me see if I can give you. This is going to be hard because I don't know if you guys will be able to see all this action, but let me move you here. And so I don't know, you see the cable there. The cable is right there. So I'm going to put the hog ring there, but it's very hard for me to show you exactly how I do it. So basically you need to grab this wire and that wire together. That's the idea. So you have to push down really hard, get them together, and then pass the hog ring to this wire first, and then press the tool. Basically, with that, you have to do that noise like and to do it anyhow. So I'm pushing down really hard, really hard. Well, not that hard. It's just that, you know, the foam is in the way, and then I'm grabbing this thing, and I need to make sure I'm low enough that I'm grabbing both, basically. And one thing you don't want to do, there, that's it. One thing you don't want to do is that you press down, maybe a straight one would be better for this case, but anyways. You don't want to go halfway and release it. You want to go all the way because it's really hard to grab, I guess, the garden ring. That's actually what I did now. So I grabbed it again, but you want to go one press and that's it. So now this is pressed down, you see it's already taking shape, you see. So now we're going to do the other 2 sides. So I'm grabbing two hog rings. I'm going to leave one there to grab this one, load the gun pliers, hog ring pliers, that's how they're called. And now you don't have to push that hard, because with the previous hog ring, it's basically holding it down, so it's not that hard. I'm going to try to show you here in this one. It's hard for me to show you, but there I'm going down there, pull, and pull. That's it. So now look at that, it's already taking shape. Isn't that cool? Anyhow, the other way you can tell that this is aligned correctly is because this stitching basically needs to land here, and you can see the stitching actually doesn't land on this side like that. It basically goes this way. So the flat part goes like that. That's how it was originally installed, because you can tell the stitching was sitting on top. You can see the mark. So if you think that that's a better option, no, that's how it was supposed to be done. So you put it that way. So once we do the sides, we're going to be pulling this in and putting the stitching on that side like it's supposed to be. Okay, so that one's done. So now we're going to do the other one. We're going to do this one. Here's the wire. Remember, these wires are not the same size. So when you pull the old seat apart, put it in the new one right away, the wire. Put it right away in the place that it's supposed to go, because otherwise you're going to screw it up and it will be too late. Okay, so let's do the center one again. Okay, so I'm pushing hard. And that's it. A nice taking shape. Let's take the other one. Whoops. There. And you need to make sure you're grabbing the wire, because sometimes you can put the hook ring in one of them. You need to make sure you're grabbing both. This one now, here. Let me see if I can, I don't know if I can do this, but I'm going to move you on the other side and see if I can move you down here so you can actually see what I'm doing, because I think it's valuable for if you've never done this before. It's kind of daunting to think that you can do it by yourself, but actually you can. So let me see if I can show you there. It's very, very hard for me to show you, but let's see if I can raise this here. So there you see the hook rings grabbing the other cable, and this is the cable is right there, that where that rest is. So I'm going to try to do it here with you guys. So you see I'm grabbing the top cable and I'm going down to the bottom cable there, and now I'm going to close it and press hard, and there, that's it. That's how you do it. I think that came out good in the video. I hope so. Yeah, so that's how you do it. Let's put you back here on this side. I guess it's better for you guys. Oops, to stay here. There. All right, so we have the middle done. So now we are going to do the sides, and again we are going to start in the middle. So I think it's time for me to sit. I'm getting old. Okay, so this is grabbed here. It's pretty good. And now we're going to grab the middle here first. So you can see we are going to actually put this hook ring in this position. That's where originally the hook ring was. So I'm going to grab a hook ring. This one has the hole already, so you're not going to have that done already. So you're going to have to pull it like this together, grab it, and you need to pinch it. If you don't have that much pinch strength, you might want to grab a helper. But what you could do is that, because the hook ring has that shape, you can actually grab the cable under like this, and then bring this one over, and then the hook ring will pull it together. you can do it that way. So I'm going to grab this and press it. Done. And I need to make sure, one thing I didn't do before I did this, I need to make sure the stitching is on that side. Remember, see, the stitching was going this way. I think it was going this way. Let's do some research here. Yeah, so the stitching has to go this way. So we need to bend it over this way so it lands on this edge. So that's what I did here. I put my hand inside and I basically bend it over to make sure it's on the top. That's all. It's not rocket science. Just making sure it's on top. You can actually bend it afterwards. You can pinch the leather and do this, and it will go over. So let's keep going here. Let's grab this one and this guy here. Now we're going to do the other side. You want them to be, you know, symmetrical. You don't want to do one side and then the other in one go. I wouldn't recommend that. I remember doing that once, I think, and the results were not good. I remember I had to push a lot, like slap the leather quite a lot to make it fit correctly. So that wasn't a good idea. Again, moving the stitching over. I don't know how is that called. It's not the welt, because the welt is the kind of like when they put the welt here is that when they put the welt here is that kind of that plastic thing. I don't know how this is called. I don't know. I'm not a upholstery person, so I don't know the technical names for things. Okay, let's do this one now. You guys can see there. I'm checking the video so you guys can see what I'm doing. Boom. So that's good. So now, see, it's taking shape. You see how easy is this? It's not that hard. Few things you have to make sure you're doing right, but look, it's all puffy, round, pretty cool. All right, let's continue here with this. There's a bunch of hook rings in this one. So at this point, I'm going to do this side first, then that side, then I will move back and so on. And this one is a bit tricky because it looks like it's super short here. You see, it's like there's not enough leather, and that's why you have to pull really hard. So that's something that, yeah, some people will say, oh no, there's not enough leather, but there is, because the other part, this goes to the back of the seat, you don't see it, and then the back of the seat rolls over, so there is actually no need to have that much leather, just so you know. So we're going to put this one now here. Like I said, since I had the holes from the other one, that's why I know where to put them. And you are not going to have that, so you're basically going to have to pull in really hard, and that's about it. So basically you are going to have to do something like this. For this one is kind of hard because there's the leather, so you pull it this way. This is one thing that I just want to point out. If you pull too hard here, you're taking leather from this side, no? So that's why you need to do this side and then the other side and pull so that they're kind of symmetrical. That's why you have to do it that way. So I'm pulling in. Let me grab the hook ring. Maybe there is hook ring pliers where you put the hook ring and it's hold the hook rings. That would be pretty useful, but I don't have those, so. These hog rings are, I would say, a little bit too big. Compared with the old ones, these are a little bit too big, but they work. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can buy smaller ones. I don't know what will be the right size, but these ones are a bit too big for me. But these are galvanized, so they're not going to rust. That's why I bought them. Yeah, but I think a smaller ones. I think these are 3/4 inch or a little bit less than 3/4 inch. But yeah, something to keep in mind. And make sure this is over here. I'm moving the stitching, and this one is over already, like that. Right. We're doing this. We're doing this one now here. So that is it. I'm going to see. This is now taking shape. This is going to be pull. That's how it straightens. And if you mess around with the stitching inside, and you want to move it, like you feel that it's over here, in this side, you can bend it over like this. And then at some point it's going to flip over. That's how you would do it. But it's easier to do it beforehand. And you put, finger inside here and move it over, and that's, that's how you do it. Same thing with this. I'm moving it over beforehand so that it's easier, because I'm not going to be able to reach the bag. All right. Put these guys in here. See, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. Now we go on the other side. Same thing with this. This is stitching, pushing it over. All right. Oops. Whoops. Sorry. Technical issues. Are you guys there? All right. Put it over. And as you notice, I always start from the last hook ring I put on, never from here. Otherwise you can wrinkle this. You want to keep the tension so it's straight, no? So keep that in mind when you do yours. So it's straight, there's no wrinkles there. And here, for example, is something to note. This is short, and the last hook ring was right there. So even if you tear it apart, the whole seat, and you forgot to check where they were, that's how you know, because you put the middle first, and the middle will give you, it will align it for you, basically. And so that's how we will know. And maybe you will have to pull a little bit, but that's about it. You can still do it without having the whole seat. But for someone that haven't done it before, it's pretty good to have the old seat and look how it was done. There we go. We have all the hook rings in the original positions, and this piece is done. Yeah, isn't that nice? It's beautiful. And then when this piece is basically pulled over from both sides, it's going to get really stretched. Okay, so this is the back seat for my passenger seat that I have here. Now we are going to do the driver's bottom piece. And it's the same idea. We will pull but this one has 3 areas where there is hog rings. But we are going to start in this one. Then we will move over to this one or that one, doesn't matter. But always start from the middle one, or in this case, whatever the middle is this, or you can start here if you wanted to. But I will start here first. So let's do that. Okay, let's do the driver's seat now. Sorry, yeah. So sorry, the bottom part of the seat, not the driver's seat. Same deal. Like I said, we're going to start in the middle of this tree, but we always start in the middle and we move outwards, and with everything basically. Once you finish putting this tree, you start from the middle, you do this one, then you do that one, then you start from the middle, you do this one, that one, middle, this one, that one, and then when you start putting the hog rings on the side, you start putting this hog ring first, that hog ring second, and then you move over to this one, and that one, and that one, and then that one, so on. The order matters, not on which one you start from here to here, but you need to do this guys first, basically, when you pull down. Why? Because if you start from here and or here and you pull too much forward, then you're actually going to move the middle forward, and then it's going to look really ugly, and you're going to have a wrinkle here. You don't want that. So don't do that, because you're going to screw it up. So this is the old seat skin, and I want to show you how to show you just how to take the cables out. I did not take the cables out so that you guys can see how it's done. Alright, so this is the bottom seat new skin. This is the new skin. Okay, this is the old skin. Okay, so I'm going to move you guys a little bit high here so you can see what I'm doing. I need more space there. I think that's good. All right, so this is the new sit. This is all sit skin, and this cable, this wire is here. The 3 wires are there. This is what I meant. So I'm going to take this wire, I'm going to put it right here, because these wires are different sizes, different lengths. I think this one is longer than this one, and that's longer than this one too. In other seats I have done, because the shape of this seat is tapered like that, obviously the cables are going to be different. Cables, wire, I always interchange words, but anyways, you get what I mean. So that's why the one in the back will be shorter. So in other seats that I made that were completely straight, got very square, the wires were the same. But just to make it really clear, since this seat is tapered, then you want to change the cables, put them on the same place. So in this case, I don't care about this skin, so I'm going to just cut it. It's easier. You can tell how the material is so old that you can rip it off. This one is bent, so I'm going to straighten out the cable. We don't want it to be bent that much. That's better. So now I'm going to put it here, and the way you have to put them is these guys are hollow here. There's 2 pieces of fabric that were stitched in the bottom, so there's like a little tunnel. So put them there like that, and then you pass them through. You see, until they come in the other side here. Beep. That's it, and that's how you lift them. So let's do the next one. Let's got this guy here. This one is bent too, a little bit. They bent over time, obviously. Making it straight. All right. Let's put this one here. Same deal. Put it inside. Push until they come up on the other side. Here. Sometimes this happens. This new skin, they put a lot more material of this thing, whatever it's called, over. So, you know, the wire is over here, and you don't see it. So the only thing, the thing you have to do is to pull down, and then that's how it looks like. It's a little bit kind of like stretched, but it doesn't wrinkle the leather or anything. Or you can cut a little bit here to make it the proper length, which is completely fine. You can do that. Actually, I think in this case, yes, it's fine. It's not pulling the leather too much, so that's okay. So we are going to do the last one. Same deal. Same deal here. Cool. And this one was a straight. Let me check if it's not a straight. Let's make it straight. Yep, it's better. Spool. Come on. All right, there. Oop, that's it. So now we have the wires in, and we can look in here. You see, this are where the hog rings are, and you can tell. You see, this is one of the, I don't know how these are called. Anywho, but you see they put the hog ring, a hog ring right on the middle of this one. Then two hog rings, one on each side. So that's how you're basically going to do it. Two here. There's no hog ring right in the middle. They put them on the sides, except for this one, which is the last one. So that's what we're going to do. So we don't need this. This will serve as reference just to see where the hog rings are, if we need it. So now we can start putting this skin. Same process. Same process. So we're going to start from this one here. Okay. I'm going to eyeball the center of it by looking at the seat. That looks good to me. And that's good. All right. So we are going to put the hog ring there. Now I'm going to go down. Come on. This one is, the first one is definitely the hardest one. Oh, okay, let me put you guys down so you guys can see here what I'm doing. All right, so I'm putting this one now, one side. Hold it, and then I just go down. Oh. Okay, so you see that was a mistake. I did not grab the cable. I pulled the cable down. That was a mistake, so I had to cut this hog ring now. Yeah, that happens sometimes because you the cable moves when you are, because this will hit the cable instead of the hook ring, and then you pull the cable, push the cable down, and then you can't find it. So that's what exactly happened here. So now I'm on the cable. Another reason why you don't want the hook rings to be too big is that you could feel them down here. So that's another thing, another point of something to note. I don't know. All right, so another hook ring ready. I'm doing this side now. Yeah, the cable. The cable is. Let me see if I can grab. Nope, it doesn't work. You need to pull. Another thing you don't want to do while doing this is that you don't want to grab the hook ring and for whatever reason go outside the cable and then, you know, puncture the new leather. Just try not to do that, please. Otherwise it's going to look ugly. So now we have the first one ready. It looks centered to me, so I'm going to do this one now. Like I said, there's no particular reason to do this one or the one in the back, but it's important to start in the middle of each and start on the most center part of the seat. That's all. That's from experience of screwing up a seat where I started from the side and then the whole thing was crooked. So, and actually you still have a chance to move the seat side to side, so you still have to like pull forward to make it sure it's centered. Still you have to do that, otherwise you could you can still move it too far. And this one is a little bit harder than the rest, and the reason why it's harder is because these two sides are thicker than all the other ones. So you need to push with your thumb or with something down really hard to get to the wire. So this one is trickier, and it has a so this is the other problem. Is you see how this is thicker here and thinner there? So when you push down, this then bends backwards and then it hides the cable down this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang this over the table so it sits that way, so it doesn't go up and then pinches the foam like that, and then it doesn't let me see. So let's move over here a little bit. Yeah. So now it's hanging from the table. So, but the cable is still, the cable, I can see the cable there. So, okay, so now I'm grabbing, making sure centered. I can see the cable and I'm pushing down. There. All right, that was not that hard. It's just you can barely see. This one now. So this one, you see, it hides the, but it's not going to be such an issue because we are it's not such an issue because it's already pressed down here. All right, that's done. So looking, you know, it's taking shape. So now let's do this side. do this side now. Same deal, although this one is easier because it's not, well, it's still, the first pull is still hard, and you have to pull it from the back, push it down, maybe with 2 hands to kind of like settle it. There, okay. So now I can put the hook ring in. You kind of need 3 hands for this to make it easier. Okay. There. All right, that's done. So this guy. One thing I do, I don't know, I guess it's common, is that I grab the cable from the seat here with this part of the hog ring. So I puncture so the cable basically sits, the wire basically sits right here. So it's kind of like this, like that. And then with the pliers, I push down until I get to I can see that this side is going to go under the other cable and then grab. And that's how I do it basically. And this part is done. So now we need to move over here. So now we are going to do the sides. Same idea. We flip this over. I hope you guys can see there. Okay. So now this is all seat as a reference. And we're going to check where the hog rings were. So this, for this plea, I think this is called plea, I don't know. The hog rings were in each side. And so the idea was that to pull this hard and straight and then pinch it from each side basically. So that's what we are going to do. This one has 2 on each side. This one has 1 in the middle. This one has 2 in each side. So we are going to repeat that pattern. So and obviously I am going to put the hog ring in the same place here where, you know, the kind of like the rust area is. You can see the rust there. So, and this is a bit, so remember actually, let's see, in this seat, yeah, so well, I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, so the stitching is still, I think, looking this way. You know, now I'm not 100% sure. I think actually it's bent this way. Is it? Uh-oh, I think I made a mistake. Let's see. Huh, let's see. It's hard because it's hard to see how it was put together because looks better that way. Yeah, so same way. This way is better. So this part is straight. All right, let's do that. Yeah, actually, here's the answer. You see the old seat. This is bent this way, where the stitching is bent that way, not this way, and the foam sits over here. So that's how it is. I was right. All right, let's do this. Put the stitching right side and pull hard to make this guy go over. So this one is a bit challenging because it's really far out. So this is where you start sweating. good. Okay. Yeah, you don't want to pull that hard. Yeah, this is what happened here. The stitching came off the seat. Well, that's I guess a manufacturer problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another hook ring here so this doesn't break. Okay, but I'm going to do this side now. Actually, no. We are going to flip it over. I'm going to do this side first. Same deal. Same deal. You can tell. You see the foam. Yeah, that's how it is. At some point, this seat is going to be absolutely useless. The foam. Maybe in 30 more years, this foam will need to be replaced. But that time, I might be dead. So I don't know. So we're pulling hard here. I'm actually going to look into this side to see how far. Yeah, so they were kind of far. So here. All right. Elbow grease. Yeah. Come on. Oh, again. This pushing over the stitching. Come on. Come on. Oops. Sorry, guys. All right. Ready with this one. There. All right, let's do this one now. Since we are in this side, same deal. I grab this one. Look where the hook rings are. They're literally in random places. I don't think that they measure any of this. They just make sure that this is lining up in the middle. But it's just good to have an idea, you know, where they are, and making sure the stitching is pushed to the right side. And for this one, in this case, you want to pull the leather over here and around the foam here. There. You want the leather around. You don't want the leather. It will make it easier for you to pull. So we are putting this one here. And this one here. So you see, one thing I do is that I grab from the back and pull that way so that I know it's straight. That's it. Let's flip it over. Let's pull this one, and obviously I start from the back forward, never from here back. And here I do not see. Oh, actually there. That's the other thing, is that pieces of hook rings are always around. When you cut them, make sure to remove them. So the hook ring was right here. For some reason they put a hook ring right in the middle. There. And I'm going to, I don't think I should put a hook ring here. I'm going to put another one here, although there wasn't one here, but it's just so that is straight in here. There. Basically the same as the other side. And that's it, I think. And from here, if we look at the top, we have those two hook rings here, and then we have that one on the top, like an inch below the end. And it's actually landing kind of like perfect. You see, this is the end of the cut here of the new one. Oh, sorry, there. That's the old one, and that's where the hook ring was. So basically, I'm going to put it there and grab it against that. And that's will align up perfectly, basically. There. All right, let's do this one. Same deal. All right. Same distance, same deal. Done. So that's good. Look at how it's looking nice. So now we are going to do the back side, which in this old seat, again, using the reference we have one here and one at the end. And that's what we're going to do. So one here. And I think, yep. So I'm checking that this is basically in the other. It's this way. You can actually put your hand all the way in here. There's still a space to do this after the fact. Okay, so that is this way. Yep. All right, so that's good. So let's do this. Stitching to that side. This one kind of goes in a bit of an angle actually, and the last one here. All right, this one, last two, and this will be done. So this one, you see, goes over here like that. It's a bit of an angle, and you can tell now why they put it in the middle, and it's because of the angle that it goes in. There, you see it goes like a little bit like that. And last one, stitching, pointing the right direction. Yep. And we are good here. That's it. Seat is this, the bottom seat is done. So now the hard part comes, where you have to put all this together. And let me tell you, it's easy in a way, but there's a lot of elbow grease that goes into putting these things together. One thing I want to show you is that I bought these generic clips to do the other seat. Is a kit, and I use some of this type of clips instead of the old ones that they were this kind. They are okay, but they don't pull too hard. The other one's clipped and locked in place, and so I would recommend you to buy the right ones. If you don't want to buy a kit, I buy a kit because there's many clips in the NSX that were lost. So what the problem is in the case of these clips is that this one's here. They're almost they are the right size, but the problem is the material that is under the seat, this plus the leather thickness, needs to fit under here. So the distance between the end of the clip and the base of the clip, the first base of the clip, this one, needs to be thicker than the material that is going to go through, so that this part of the clip, let me point that out with this, I think it's better. So that this part of the clip locks in place in the hole on the frame of the seat. But there's not enough space for the material plus the metal, the frame of the seat, to clip into and actually lock in place. So what I'm going to have to do, because I don't want to use the other clips, that I'm going to cut a little bit of this clip up here so that the material and the metal can go through, and then it will lock itself. I'm chipping out instead of buying them, because I have so many of these things that I'm just going to cut them. It's not a big deal. Problem is that I need to cut like 20, which is a pain, but basically I'm going to shave a little bit, like this much, like that much from the clip, so that the material can fit and then lock in place. That's all. It's no big deal. But if you want to buy the clips, buy the clips. I don't know what's the size or whatever, but just buy them. So I cover the seat with this material thingy I told you before. I had it, I don't know what it's called, but you can use a plastic bag, so a very, very thin plastic to cover the seat, so when you slide the skin down is easier. And the skin is right here. The skin is right here, and as I said before, I bought this from Interior Innovations, and then I got them, and then I realized they're made by Rides. So it's the same company. It has same phone number, but I guess they sell regular leather, then they sell Napa leather, so this is the same as the Rides seats basically. Anyways, but I paid less money, so I don't understand well. Anywho, so I am, first thing off obviously is to put the back part together. I mean, not together, on top of the seat. Let me see, I'm going to move you back a little bit because you guys are not going to be able to see. All right. There, this is like a jacket basically, It's like a jacket. And we want to pull it down here. And this is where the elbow grease starts. It's like you need to put need to line the corners in the back first. So you want to pull down tight, and with your hand you can move the stitching on this over and start trying to align it with the seat. This is there's not much to say about this stuff. I mean, you have to work it, pull it. The leather is going to start getting warmer, easier to manipulate. You can steam it if you wanted to. I usually don't steam it because I don't like the weather to get cold. Wet. Because then if it gets wet, the foam can get wet and it can grow mold. So you don't want that. So I'm aligning basically the stitching to the edge of the seat, and I'm actually going to look at both sides and make sure they both look by eye the same. So I'm going to pull here. And I'm trying to leave this material there so that it's easier for me to pull. This is a trial and error thing too. I mean, don't think that, don't get discouraged. We all go through this. So I'm pulling the back hard. And this is what I meant with the slapping of the leather. It's way easier to move it over if you start slapping it. So this side is looking aligned there. You see how the lines is shaping up. Let me move you down a little bit there. So you see the lines are going straight, they're kind of symmetrical. And this guy has to fit under here. Let's see, you see that? No. Let's see down here, there. So this guy, it could help you as a guide. This thing has to actually fold over this piece of metal down here. So you know that it has to be like about the middle there. So if you pull too much the leather this way, then you know you are too far forward and you have to move it down, and the same with the other side. So now that I think I'm good there, and you see the leather gets straighter when I pull, and the stitching looks good and all that, I'm going to go on the other side now and work this side to make it look like the right side. So I'm going to pull here. So I'm going to adjust the video as much as I can, so I give you as much as detail. Okay. So I'm going to pull here. I need to pull down because this is not aligned properly. All right. How is it looking? It's too far back. Like if you look at down here, if you look down here now, I'm going to show you there. If you look down here, this one is too far back. There you see the metal ends here. This one ends there. So we know we need to pull that way, and we pull the other side too much this way. So this is the elbow grease part of it. And you know, another thing that works against you is that these leather seats are all leather, including the back. And in the NSX, this is the original leather seat. This part here, that's foam, but this is vinyl. So it has a little bit more give. Although this is fabric backed vinyl, it's still a little bit more flexible, I think. But anyhow, this is the part where the elbow grease comes in, and you have to pull really hard to align it properly. So I'm going to cover the camera. I'm sorry, but that's just, this is where all the grunting noises and things they come into play now. Alright, let's see. Okay, that's better. I hope you guys can see now there. Yeah, so now this is coming over better. See, I can align it there, so that's good. And the back, it looks good. This doesn't look good at all. This area here doesn't look good. This is too far back, way too far back. So I need to pull this over. So I'm going to put my hand here. Okay, that's better. So now I'm going to start clipping the seat, and this is where the clips are useful. So let me put you in the side here so you can see what I'm going to try to do. So in the seat there is these holes where these things basically where you put the clips. So excuse the reach there. So these clips, you go through here, and then they grab the leather and everything together for you to be able to put the seat together. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use one of the old clips that I have still to put these guys first. So those clips I think are the most important ones. Once you align those, then you can work out the rest of the seat. So that's what I'm going to do first. And so this is up here now. Is up here, and I have to bring it over all the way down to there. So that's how much you have to pull. So I'm going to put the clip first here. Hopefully the clip is going to grab, and I'm pulling down really hard. I would say that this is one of the most critical clips of all, and the hardest one to start with, but it is definitely the most important one. It's really challenging to put this thing on. I think it grabbed. Yes. Yoo-hoo! You see how wrinkled all this is? Well, this is where you have to start fixing by putting. You see, it gets better. All this up here is Velcroed, so you can massage this by slapping or whatever to adjust it. But with this clip already, you can tell where it's going to sit, where it's going to sit down here. Sit, when I said sit, is where it lands. I don't know. What I mean by that is how it looks like from as aligned with the old marks of the stitching against the foam. That's kind of like the guide. We know that up here the foam had the marks right here in the front, and that's how this one is looking like. And these we're looking forward. They're not all the way back here, so that's looking good. But this one has to be moved a little bit over, but I'm not going to do that right now because I want to put now this bottom clip down here. So I'm going to move your guys all over the right. This is definitely not a professional video. Anyways, so now I'm going to grab another one of the old clips I have, because I know they're going to grab pretty good. And I'm going to do the same. I'm going to grab this guy over here. Let me move you there. And this, because now this is attached, the right side is attached, this is going to take a little bit more work. So, where are we here? And this is the elbow grease. If you didn't do a workout and you are doing this, well, good for you, because that is a lot of force that you need to put down. Okay, I'm almost there. I'm putting the clip here, and I'm going to pull, try to line this thing. I almost got it, but it came off. Oh. Oops, it's not working. You know, this is the same problem that I was explaining before, the distance, because this material is thicker. So I'm actually trimming a little bit the clip. So it grabs. All right, let's do it again. Yeah, come on. Come on, you. Yeah. Ooh. Woo. Well, 2 bottles win. Okay. Oh yeah, that's hard. Okay, so I'm putting this back here, since we move all this stuff up, because now we need to put these guys in, and we want to make sure it's easier. So now we need to put these guys over. Why? Because this will pull the leather a little bit too, and you need to align this stitching against the edge. You can tell where the stitching was before, here and here. We uncover this. You see the stitching there, the line of the stitching? Yeah, so we need to follow that. That's where the stitching should go, like that. So we need to pull these ones over like that, and make sure the stitching is on the right side. And we know the stitching was moved that way. And now this is a bit tricky, because you need to pull, we'll move you down again. You need to pull down here, because this is actually screwed that down here. So you need to make sure you have enough material to go around, so that you can actually screw this back. So this point here has to go around, and there is actually a hole for a screw here, and you need to screw it this way. That's how it looks like at the end. So you need to make sure you pull down hard here, and this stitching is aligned and straight. It looks, this side looks pretty good. If we look at it from the front, it's looking good. I know there is wrinkles there. That's not a problem, because we need to now put the Velcro, and when we put the Velcro, those wrinkles are going to go away like that. You see? But we're not going to put the Velcro down yet. We're going to put this first. And this is all clips, so, but let's do this side now first. Let's do this guy here. We want to make sure with this thing is way easier to slide it down. And I'm pulling real hard here. By the way, I do rock climbing, so I have Popeye arms, so it's a bit unfair if you don't do this, if you are not a rock climber or you don't do any sports like that, to say that I'm doing it really hard. I'm lucky enough that I do a sport that helps with this. But there is tools to help you with this kind of stuff. I don't have it here. There is actually a leather puller that it looks like a hammer shaped shark, no, hammerhead shark with a, like, it looks like a T, and it has like teeth like that, and then it grabs the leather, it doesn't rip it off. You could buy some of those. I think in Amazon they sell a kit for like $30 with the hog ring tool, so you can buy all together. It's useful for this because then you can grab it with 2 hands and pull it down. I don't have to, but, and you can grab both sides like this and pull down. So now I can tell, you see, I can tell here there is a wrinkle there. Well, that's because the stitching is that way, so I need to move it that way before I do anything. It's very, I mean, after a while you can tell right away what you're doing wrong. So the stitching has to go over this way, so it doesn't do that. All right, let's pull, and pull hard. Come on. It's looking good, but I don't have enough material here. I'm running short here, so I need to pull this way first and then move it down. I can tell because I can't really grab. You see that? The clip broke. That's how much tension there is in this thing. So we are going to have to do that first. Good thing that this happened, because then you can see why you have to do it this way. I mean, or sorry, how to fix problems if it happens to you. So yeah, the half of the brick club. So these are the old clips. So yeah, you see, that's a problem. They could be broken or cracked or something. So I'm going to grab another of the old clips that hopefully is in better shape than this one. I'm making sure the clip is good. Because when you pry them off, they kind of bend a little bit, so they're kind of okay. Some of them come really easy, some of them don't. So just want to make sure to choose the better one of all. This one's pretty good. All right, let's use this one. Okay, we're going to have to do this again. Ay, ay, ay. All right. I don't know if I'm going to have to trim this clip, but I'm going to try without trimming it. Let's see. It should be easier now, because all the pulling for the leather happened already. No. Oh, come on. No, it doesn't like it. All right. Yeah, that's how much I had to trim it. Yeah. No, this is still a fight. Come on. Ah, that's down there. All right. Hopefully it's not going to come off now. So I'm going to pull a little bit hard. I remember watching a video of someone in YouTube, another guy with NSXs that had brand new leather skins. Tries to pull that clip first, and he ripped it. I fell for him. And the only reason why I think that happened is because, you know, he didn't pull hard enough from the top, so there was tons of tension, and yeah, and that's how it happened. So that's why I'm pulling really hard this way, so that all this goes down and you can clip it. And when I put the clip, I push the clip, but I'm at the same time pulling down and this way. Anywho, try not to destroy it. That's what I'm trying to say. So now I'm going to pull a little bit hard, not that hard this time. Okay, well, that's a little bit more, but not, I don't think that. The problem is here, is this corner. This corner is not going down. This is the slapping part of it. Let's see there. And now I do have enough material. So you see a little bit of slapping and everything changes. All right, so now we are good there. So we need to put these clips on. So let's do that. These clips are easier, but what comes after is hard. So let's put these clips in. I'm going to use some of the old clips here. And now this material, you can pull it off if you want. And oh, shoot, I moved it. Okay, I'm going to put this clip first then. Okay. Let's put this one. Ooh, that's very long. All right. I'm looking at something here that I'm actually wondering. I do not remember which hole I use for the clips. There's two holes here, and I can't remember which one was where this thing is. I don't think it's the feather one because it doesn't look right. So I'm going to put it on You can watch the video or remember the seat. Actually, let me look at the older seat I did. Oh, okay. So I put it in the other, in this one, in the outer one. So that's what I'm going to do. Well, this thing are very stubborn. Because this material is thicker than the original, these clips don't fit. So they are becoming a real pain. So I'm just trimming like, I don't know, 1 millimeter. It's like literally nothing out of it. So they can clip themselves here. Come on. Now it's clipped. Phew. Once you put this ones here, you see those wrinkles? That's because this piece of leather has to come in. So you can grab it and put all the things, and then you. Uh-oh. No, you see, this clip is coming off. I think the material is too big. Let me. I have a hammer here. Is that clipped? Yeah. Now it went over. Yeah, the clip wasn't fully clipped, so that's why they can't. Okay. Yeah, these clips are way too short. So I don't know. I don't think that they're going to work. I'm going to have to use the other ones that I used before, and now I screw those up. So these are the ones that I used before. And they have to be trimmed too because they're too long for certain areas. So it's a bit of a pain in the ass not to have the right clips. So I have to trim a little bit of it. Otherwise they don't go in here. It's way easier. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I continue here down the road of the clips. This clip, need to trim it. There is some clips that the hole goes through, so these clips will fit, and some of them, yeah, I had to trim a little bit because these are too long. So that's all. I'm gonna just hammer it a little bit so that fits better. The holes are aligning, which is a good thing. Let me see this one. Yeah, this one will fit here. This one requires a lot of tension. That one, for a second I thought I screwed up with the back clip, but it's fine. It doesn't go down here. Because there is another hole here. So I thought, oh, it goes there. No, it doesn't. It's actually even marked here where it goes. I think so. Yeah. This one requires a lot of tension because of this is where most of the leather is. So the problem with this one is that the leather is pulling that way, so the clip doesn't go straight, goes like that. So you need to make sure you pull down from here so that this guy sits correctly, and you can't really hammer that hard because this is aluminum, so I'm doing it light taps in. Okay, I think that is good. All right, I think that we're good here. Let's do the other side. All right, let's do this side. Half. Okay, I can see. Let's do the other side here. Okay. Let's take this off now. We don't need it anymore. We already pulled the leather. You see how much? Oh, you are not seeing anything. All right, there. So this has to align to this hole and is pulled back because it's very stretched here. So that's why you kind of have to massage this to make it come over so it aligns there better. Boom. And that's it. So now that's why that wrinkle is there, but again, that wrinkle will go away once we align the other ones. That's how it works. So this one is too long again. Sorry for my reach. We'll change size here. So you guys can see. Oops. Okay, there. So the reason why I cut the tip is because it's too long, and the tip will hit the bottom of the seat. So that's why I do that. See, this one's work fine. I mean, the other seat, I sit down in it, nothing came off, so it's good. It's just those clips over there, you want them to lock in place. So I guess you can buy for those. Okay, that's two. Same deal with this. Cut the tape, put it on. Okay. Needs to go down more. There. And we have that wrinkle there now. We need to fix. But you see how we fix it by pulling this way. Let me put the last clip and then we will do that side so you can see how that you fix that. I think. All right. All right, so that all the clips are in. So we need to get rid of this wrinkle here. Well, it's easy. Well, easy. You need to pull this way and that way, and that's what makes this wrinkle happen. That's it. If we pull more here, which we are going to, it's completely straight. So that's almost done. Now we need to look at the whole seat, to make sure. Okay, let me fix you guys here. All right, so here, if you look at what we're doing here, this side, the stitching goes there, and that side you don't see it. I know there is a bad lighting, but you don't see it, so we need to move it over a little bit. And for that, again, elbow grease, and we need to pull this over. Like that. All right, that's good. So now we can take these off. I guess we don't need any of this, and we can put the Velcro in here to align this correctly. And this Velcro, you need to pull really hard to put this part of the Velcro in, and do so that you stretch the leather as much as you can. And you see, now it's straight, and you can see the stitching over here. So basically at the same level. So I'm going to put that one now, that Velcro in. Yeah, I'm sweating. This is a lot of work. Okay, let's put this one down here. How does it look? I know you see wrinkles here. Yeah, don't worry about those because we need to pull the seat from the side to do the other pieces. So let's do that now. And this is one of the trickiest, I guess, parts of it, I would say. Okay, so I'm just making sure I don't have hot wings or anything that could damage the leather. Before I do this. So, all right. So this is the interesting part. I'm going to actually move you guys up quite a lot so you guys can see what I'm doing up here. All right, so let's move you guys down here. So here is tricky. So you see there is wrinkles all around that area, but that's because these pieces are not pulled down. This has to basically fold over here, and this will have to fold over here at this piece. So I'm going to do this one first. So it's actually two folds, two complete folds, and then it goes over like that. Okay, so one. I'm going to replicate the same as the other side. I think, now that I remember, since I'm struggling, I think I cutted this thing for the other side to fit in here. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this, because since the other one is straight and this one is not, it's a different type of attachment. Yeah, I think it. Now I remember I cutted this thing, so, and now it will fit perfectly there. So I'm just bending it back because I bended it over. Now there, that's how it is. Yeah, so that's what I did on the other side. My mistake. This one, although this one is the same shape than this side, but the lip here is a bit different. Actually, this is the same. It's kind of like the same idea. You see, this one is flat and has those things there. So the only difference between this one and that one is that this one has this piece all the way, but it fits fine down here, under here. So you don't have to cut it like I did. So how is this put over? Like that. So this goes under this lip here, and then you slide it over. And that's about it. That's what I'm doing here. And another trick is that I use another tool that somehow I have here, and a spatula for so I use this to push this one in here, way easier too. So bend it over. The only issue with this thing is that you're gonna have to push all this at the same time, so it's a bit hard to do. But once it goes in, it stays in place. It's just the trick is the first time that it goes in, it takes a little bit of elbow grease. You see, it comes off from the other side, but this stays, and that's what you need to avoid. It's definitely is in. That is a lot of elbow grease. Jesus Christ. All right. You see, this one is different than that. This one stays in, no problem. You see now it's straight, and you know, over time the leather is going to stretch and it's going to look much better than it is right now. So let me show you down here how it looks like now. You see it's all straight, there's no wrinkles. There's a wrinkle here, but that's, you know, slapping. We're going to do slapping to fix that. So let's do the other side now. Ah, yeah. Take this off here. And that's another thing to note, because I did something different with the seats, is that the cables, they need to go into the new holes, which I didn't do before. The holes are there, okay. And this side, these leathers don't have the cut for the instrument, so I'm going to just make a cut here to let the cables go through, and then later I will trim the leather correctly so that I can screw in the bottom holders, or whatever it's called. So I need to cut this a little bit more. There. Okay. So the buttons go there. These guys, they screw in here, obviously, but they screw in these holes, and the original leather seats, skins, sorry, not leather, but vinyl seats. This part was actually vinyl originally, is like that, you see. So you need to make the same holes and cut-offs and repeat the process here. I will do a slot like that, and I will make 2 holes there to align, but that will be when I put this bottom. So let's do this guy now. Don't cut the leather. All right. So this one is a bit too far back, so I need to pull. I need to pull a little bit more this way. There's better. We bend it over. Oh, no, actually, before we do that, we're going to hammer this a little bit flatter, because when you take this off from the original seat, you kind of bend them a little bit. So, and you see? I don't know why I didn't do that right away at the beginning. All right, let's do this one now. And this one is a bit bent, so I'm going to hit it back into shape. Okay, that's good. And we grab the, where is it? Drywall 2 here. We move it over. Yes. There. Well, that was easier. I'm pressing here really hard so it goes all the way. Yay, that was easier. To the bottom. And that's how it looks like. All right. Let me bring you back down here a little bit. Let's bring you back down here. All right, let's take a look of how all this looks like now. What? That looks good. So those wrinkles there, that's not a problem. What I have seen in the internets is that people conform with having wrinkles all the way there, or leave it like that. That's not cool. You need to work your way out to make it look nice. So those wrinkles are basically we need to slap the side and to basically put the Velcro better, and these wrinkles, when you push down here, they go away, because this part down here, the seat is not in the right position, so they actually this is going to wrinkle a little bit. But if you massage the leather and you pull it down, this will go away, and you can pull the leather, the Velcro more, and it will stretch the leather even more. It matters too what cut of the leather is this. So, you know, if it's not a very straight cut and it has a lot of kind of like, I don't know what it's called, but there's some cuts of the leather that are very wrinkly naturally. See, this is getting better. It's very straight. You still see here a little bit of wrinkling, and that depends on how much, you know, you pull down here. So that's how you have to like massage it, so the wrinkles go away. With usage, it's kind of going to settle a little bit more. But you try to make this very straight, and that's how. And if you do that, then it will look better, obviously, and you know, will be more aligned with what it used to look like originally. I would say that these leather skins are okay shape. Okay, quality. I have seen some, like, you see there's can you see that? I'm not sure if you can see that. My light is too strong, but there is stitchings here and here coming off. Not coming off, but they're loose. So I'm going to have to pull them down so you don't see that. And there is things like these areas down here are a little bit out of shape here. They're not quite the same. So, you know, things like that are, I guess that's what you pay for. You pay the cheapest one. But funny enough, it's the same company that writes, so I don't know about. I mean, except for that, they're pretty good for the price. I paid 3 times more for this to have seats done in an amazing upholstery shop back in my country, in Chile, and for my sub, and the seats are way better. The leather is way better quality, and they were perfect. They were done perfect, but it's 3 times more. So for this price, this is excuse me, it's pretty good. So now we can put the bottom of the seat. I think that there is an order of operations here. I think we need to put we need to put the back seat over. Oof, I don't remember now. You see, too long that I have done this. Okay, let's do. I don't think no. We can do the bottom. Yeah, we can do the bottom. We can do the bottom, and then we can do that one after. So let's put this guy on. And this guy has these two clips. We're a pain in the butt to align to these holes here in the seat. Those two holes down there in the seat. These guys align there. So it is a bit of a pain to align them. So, all right, we have the glue now. So the way it works, or the way that was done before, was that you spray a little bit there, a little bit in the foam, and that's about it. It's simple as that. I'm just cleaning the nozzle here because it makes a mess. I'm just going to spray just that little bit. And here too, where it used to be glued before, and we need to wait like 30 seconds or so for it to dry. But we don't really have to wait much, since we can put the clips under here first. So let's do that. Well, that's dry. I'll flip the seat over. And let me take you to the left side here so you can see what we are doing here. So here's a seat, bottom seat. So this clips, the seat sits like that here, and the clips go there. So I'm going to grab 4 clips. Come on. Let me cross over here. It doesn't matter how you, I mean, I did it this way, it works, you know, the seat is bent, is clipped against the front here, and that's about it. I mean, there's no more science to this. And then we push the seat back, and that's about it. You still have to put a little bit of tension, but not so much. It's fairly straightforward. So these clips are a little bit too long, so I'm going to trim them a little bit back here. They don't need to be this long. just a little bit. So now we can push this back and put the seat back there. Let me take you here now so you can see. So now I'm going to push down here, and you see this clip here that actually folds over and goes to the back of the seat, but we need to clip these guys first, these guys here to the seat. So and remember that we have glue, so it's a bit tricky, but it's possible to do it. So you have to find the clips, and they will show from these holes here. All right, so we need to put the bottom seat, sorry, the back support first. We put this one first, but you should put that one first and then put this one. It doesn't matter. That's why I left the back of this bottom seat without clipping the back, so that there is a space there for you to slide this one in. So that's what I did. I slid it down and I pushed all the way, and I put the clips for the headrest there. So the clips are here, or over there. The clips are already there. You have to put them now, because once you put the headrest, that's the end of it. The seat is done. So now I'm going to flip this over, and what you want to do is to pull the clip really hard, and well, it's not that hard, it's more trickier than anything, and push with this hand. You put it in the back here and push the seat over, and you use one of these tools to grab it, and then I was lucky that it went in fairly easy, and then you clip it over the edge of the frame of the seat, but this side obviously. So now it's clipped there, so it's good to go. So now we can actually do the same with the bottom seat. So this is the clip of the bottom seat, so I'm going to pass it over under. So I'm going to grab it. I can see part of it here. Okay, that's almost all the way there. You can see the clip is emerging here. So I'm going to pull it with this. A little bit from each side. And we need to pull it enough so that we can actually clip it here. I do have a bigger hook thing, but now at this point you can grab it and pull. This part of the foam is supposed to be at the end here. I'm going to grab this. So now the clip is here. You can this is a little bit bent over here. I'm going to usually if you grab the middle you can do the rest, but okay, so I got one corner there. Come on. Okay, that's most of the seat. Sorry, most of the clip is just this corner. That you need to be careful with this, because if one corner is off, then if you pull, it will come off from the other side. So you're gonna have to keep tension here somehow. And we are in. That's it. So we look back here. Oh, isn't that beautiful? It's very tight. Beautiful fit. This corner is a little bit wrinkly, so I'm going to okay, it came off from the clip. That's why. Oh. Wrong one. There it is. Okay. All right, looking good. For some reason this thing wants to come off. little bit. So I think it's bent too much back. Okay. So now we are back to here. Like I said, you could put this one in first, then you do this one. This is how I did it. So now what we want to do, we want to clip this two clip. Oops. We want to clip these two clips here in these two holes here, which you can do from here. This is easier than the other seat because you can still put your hand through and align them. So this one, that's in, and here you can see, you can bend it over, and that's it. So now they are both clipped, and we're almost done. So for the next step, I'm going to move you guys here. That's a finished seat. Look at that. There's some wrinkles there that need to be pulled, but that's all. So I'm going to put you guys here because it's easier to do it in the floor. So what we have to do is to finish the headrest because it's not done. We haven't done that, and then we need to pull here and here together. So we can actually do that right now, and that's what we're going to show you. Let me see. You can see, yeah. So this part needs to fit inside here. So this foam has to be here, and you want to make sure this is folded over here behind before you do any of this, so there's no wrinkles. Okay, now you do the middle, bend it over like that. It's that simple. Same with this one. But they need to get inside, so you need to press a little bit. It's not just, it doesn't go there. It needs to get inside. And this one over. And that's about it. And then you push this here. You can bend this here if you want or whatever. Make sure this is nice and tight, and that's it. And then that will allow you to put the headrest. So let's finish the headrest now. Let's do the headrest now. Here, it's back here. So here's the headrest, and the last piece. Oh, where's the here? The last piece to do. This one comes with Velcro. The original is not Velcro. The original has these clips too, like those that we just saw. And then you bend this over once and then push them like this, and that's how you clip them. But this ones are Velcro, which is fine. So now we need to look at the shape of this and what is back, what is front. So I think this is the back and this is the front. Yep. Yeah. Just by the shape of how this will go. See, this, the back is bigger, and this is bigger, so that's the back. So same deal with this material. We are putting it over here to make the job easier. And here I actually used the seat to do it before, and then I took it off the seat as I use it as a bench, but now I'm doing it here. So we need to pull this on here. Much easier in the seat, but now we can't do that because the seat is all assembled. We need to just pull. I think this is the right position. Uh-oh. Wait a second. This is the front. Oh, this front, this is back. Okay. Okay, let's try this again. This thing is a bit of a pain to put on. There. Once it's starting, it gets easier. How's it looking? It's looking good. This will stretch out good. I think this is symmetrical. This is fairly flat here, and it follows the contour. Alright, let's put this guy here. And we're going to hold this so that it doesn't come off. And that is it. Both seats done. And like I said before, I will recommend, you know, for this type of wrinkles, this is a matter of putting back here. I'm bending this over here. Same with this. You can pull a little bit more from the from here. This is mostly the Velcro, so if you want to fix it, you have to take this off. But at this point, I'm happy with the results. That wrinkle there, I'm going to fix it once I put the seats and I move them over. I want to activate the seats back and forth a little bit so they stretch out more. Yeah, those are the seats. You can actually fix some of these wrinkles by heating up the leather a little bit with a steam or a heat gun. Is dangerous. Steam is safer. So yeah, so that's how you can do it. But yeah, that's all the work is. It's a bit of work, but you can do it. It's not that hard. It's a matter of like doing one. Once you do one, if you do it the other one right away, you are set. If you wait too long, then that's a bit of a gamble because you forget about things. And you can. And this is a passenger seat that was completely damaged here. Remember. So this piece is all new leather I put on, and it looks pretty good. So yeah, I'm happy with that, how it came out. And that piece has a reinforcement too, and you don't see it, so that's good. Yeah, those wrinkles will go away once. They will look like that once we push it. It's a matter of massaging a little bit more, and we need to screw those things back in, and the switches back. I'm not going to explain you that. That's self-explanatory. Just need to screw those things in, and that's it. That's it for now, guys. I hope you enjoy. I know it's very long videos, but I'm trying to give you as much as detail in case you have any questions or doubts about doing it. And hopefully, you know, you do your skin soon. Anywho, take care, stay safe. Bye. Last step is to flip over the seat and put this last 3 clips, but they come too big, so you had to trim them down to put them in. And you just pull and clip. It's not hard. You do the middle and then you do the other 2, and that's about it. And that's the end of all this.